Yes! Resonate the sound. Oh yeah, y'all ready? Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for it? Y'all sure y'all ready for it? Resonate the sound, ever find the boom of Jesus right there at you. And we are always excited to be resonating. Y'all see this is Jesus to you. Because this is Resonate the Sound. Thank you for resonating your Thursday nights with us. I'm Chris Heineken. Tonight, we have something special for you. And now this is a first time for this individual. But tonight, we know that this program, every single program, always speaks to you. And it's going to speak to you. Tonight, it's no different. Tonight, we look at life a little bit differently. For the first time ever, here on this program, and this individual's got some awesome word for you, making a debut. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we deal with life in a very different way. Here is my good friend Mary Johnson. And tonight, on this program, this special Resonate the Sound program, we deal with that subject entitled life. It's all about the choices that we make. Mary, go get them. Go resonate the sound, girl. It's all yours. Let's go resonate.
Every day when we wake up, we get up and make choices. We wonder what we're going to wear, we wonder what we're going to think, what we're going to do, what we're going to drink, what we're going to eat, and how our day pretty much is going to go. The thing about it is, every day, every routine is a choice. And that's what our sermon is about tonight. Life is all about choice. We make choices daily. But the thing about it is, and I may not go with everything I wrote because I've wrote this so many times, but I know God's got what He's got for me. Every day we make choices, whether good, whether bad. People make choices for us, whether they're good or they're bad. Sometimes we experience things that people make choices, where they're the impact. Sometimes the choices that we make impact others as well as ourselves. And a lot of the choices that we make impact God. And we don't even realize it. We can get up every day and wonder what we're going to wear or what we're going to eat. We're not even thinking about what God thinks about it. We walk around and we could be very well eating and drinking. And this is just the start, the small things. We could be eating and drinking something that God's not telling us to. And then later in life, it may make our health worse. But all in all, we didn't pray about it. I do it a lot. But God makes the choices as well as we do. In the beginning, He created us. He chose to create us. Not just to create us, like everything in this world, but to create us in His image. His own image. And to me, that's a lot. To have someone to care about us so much that He not only wants us to be alive, but to look like Him, to act like Him, to have the freedom He has. And most of my life, I never had that freedom. And I may cry because a lot of this is coming from my life experience. So I will share with you guys the things about me because I don't want to step on nobody's toes. I'm not intruding on anybody else's life because I've been where you're at. The thing about it is God knew each and every one of us and how He wanted to create us and the path that He wanted to lay out for us. And in Jeremiah 1:5, He states, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, and I set you apart." He set us apart from each other, individually apart. with our own individual paths. And he anointed us as prophets, not just for ourselves or just one person, but for an entire nation. Okay? We're prophets, you guys. Until I started really reading this, I didn't realize how important it was. That he created us to do great things and to live in peace. He created a peaceful life for us. But when we become older, where we can make our own choices, we decide that we want to make a different choice. Some are good, some are bad. For instance, could you imagine, first of all, if Jesus was to tell God that he didn't want to sacrifice his life for us, where we would be? He made the biggest choice of all, the hardest choice. There isn't anything, and I've been through a lot, and there is not anything. That's what gets me through. It's because I think about what he has went through, and we're never, we could even be shot for him, that we will never go through what he went through. And if he could do it, and he could sacrifice, and he can choose to do that for each and every one of us, then why can't we make good choices? Why can't we confide in him? It's a hard thing. It's a lot harder when you're actually trying to do it, because our flesh is a lot more stronger than what you think. That's why we have to meditate on him. Think about him. Think how it would feel about him, and how he would feel about the choices that we make. I'm not perfect by all means in human eyes. I'm not perfect in my eyes. I mess up pretty much daily. But don't we all? It's considered being a human. He already knew that. That's why Jesus came. You know, because if it was all up to God, I'm sure we would be doomed. You know, I feel we would have been doomed. The things that we go through, people in the Bible went through everything, just as well. Like Joseph, all the things that he went through. His own brothers. I've been there. My own family disowned me. I know what it feels like. To feel like the outcast. To feel like you're not wanted, you're not accepted. You think you're better than we are. Been there. It hurts. Because your family's supposed to be there for you. But what if he turned his back on God and took revenge? Could you imagine what the Bible would be like then? How many lives that wouldn't have been saved? How many good things that he'd done wouldn't have been done? You know? I mean, that's I get to thinking about stuff like that, you know, when I'm sitting alone. I do a lot when I'm sitting alone, mostly at night when he wakes me up in the middle of the night. Do a lot of things. But, you know, in Genesis 50 and 19, even Joseph even said, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. See, that's the thing. It's not just us that we're touching, that we're supposed to be overcoming. It's not about just us. It's the people that are out there that nobody cares about. It's those people. I really look really highly on people that will take a step and step out to people that they don't even know. I'm scared. If I see a stranger, I'm praying, because I know that, number one, I'm not the best judge of character, and I will try to give them everything off my back. I've done it so many times, and I've had to get counseling for it. I give in so easy because I'm such a big-hearted person. And I have to control that. I have to know when to do it and when not to do it. And a lot of times I get scared because I've been through a lot of abuse. And so it's kind of hard for me to trust just anybody. So throughout my life, I've been through several abuses. I've been through sexual and verbal, physical, mental, and emotional. But most of my childhood was torn apart, and most of you already know it, by my brother, somebody that you're supposed to trust. My brother made that choice. I believe with all my heart now, I didn't back then, because I didn't know God. But I believe now that God gave him a choice. I believe God, whether he was lost or saved, it doesn't matter. I feel that the instincts that we have, that gut feeling deep down, don't do it, or go do it, I don't think that's just intuition. I believe that is God. Whether we're saved, whether we're not, God is there. He did not create us to live in this world alone. Although I grew up thinking that. I grew up hating God. I grew up revengeful and in spite. I done things to torture people, little kids, that was around my age, because I was so angry, so built up with anger and hate and frustration, because I could never understand what I understand now. When you're lost, even if you're saved, you can still be lost. You can still walk around like you can't find nothing. I know, I did that for quite a few years after I got saved. Coming to church, I'd come to church, I'd sit on the pew. I think I was doing so good. I made choices to almost walk out so many times. But I think about my kids. I think about my mom. I didn't think about God at the time because I was still young in it, and I really didn't know him that well. But he showed me throughout the times of my life. When I was done like that with my brother, he showed me where he took care of me. I wasn't dead. And I was able to have children. I had 2 beautiful girls and a grandson, for crying out loud. I'm not mental, although sometimes I feel like it. And I love people now. And if it wasn't for him saving my soul like that, back then, before I knew him, I wouldn't be here today. He saved me from my first marriage of severe abuse. I couldn't get up a lot of times. He couldn't tell what I looked like. But he saved me through that. I lived through every bit of that. It was terrifying. I felt alone. I felt like he didn't love me. But all alone, all that time, he knew me. He knew what I needed. I was stubborn, so he didn't give up. He created me with this little bit of stubbornness. And I'm sure he's kicked me quite a few times to get me in check. Sometimes you have to do that. But I made it through my first marriage. And I got my divorce and I got out and I moved on. And during all that, later on in the years after, and that was after I had my first daughter, which was an awesome blessing back then, because it gave me a ray of hope. A little bit of hope. When I was doing something like that. The choices that we make in life impact not only us, but the children that we have. And then they impact their futures and the people they go to school with, or the people they work with. I have people that come in to my job. I don't care where I was at. I could be in at Parker, Unilever, anywhere. And people would come up to me and just start opening it up. Whoa. I barely want my problems. I don't want yours. Don't want to hear them. I got enough. But I listened. Because I remember when I had no one, when I thought I had no one, when I thought I didn't have God, He placed not just anybody, He placed one individual in my life throughout the life that just listened. Didn't preach at me. Didn't tell me that I was going to burn in hell. Didn't tell me that I was going to die. Didn't tell me I was doing wrong. Didn't tell me nothing. Just listen. I had my little girl, which was another miracle because the doctors told me I could never have another one. So it was a miracle. So by the time she come along, I was doing fairly decent. I thought my path was going to be pretty smooth. And then God took the time to make the decision and the choice to place one person in my path. And she was a young girl that went to church. She didn't go all the time, but she went. But she would always hang out with me. And she would ask me, you want to go to church? You want to go to church? Nope, I don't want to go to church. Don't want to have nothing to do with church. I'm not this perfect. God never had me. I'm damaged. That was a choice I made then. But she didn't give up. She didn't give up. She loved me. She cared for me. She hung in there. She accepted me for the person that I was. She didn't look at me like I was wrong. Like I was something bad. She didn't understand me, but she didn't judge me. She kept going and asking. And finally, I made the choice to go. And I know I'm way off, but that's okay. I made the choice to go. And that was the first time I heard about God. That was the first time that I had stepped into the presence of the church. I wasn't expecting, anything from anybody. I made a choice there to go. And God took it on His own to lay things on my heart that I knew. That I was never alone. That it doesn't matter what I went through. I would never understand the things. And He gave me a scripture I heard back then. And it was crazy because I didn't even know the Bible. But I remember bits of the scripture. And later on in life I kind of looked at it. But it was Proverbs 3:5. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. God never intended me to go through the things I went through. He never intended me to make the crazy, stupid choices I made, even though I did make some good ones. I did. I don't want to make it sound like I've made a bunch of bad ones. But I did make some bad ones. But then, all those questions that went through my head, I could have easily gave up on God. I could have hated Him again. I could have walked out of that church and never looked back. But I went a couple more times, and then later on in life, I kind of backed out a little. And then, a few years down the road, I met my second husband. I knew that was a choice. I could feel God. By then, I knew God. My kids were even telling me I was knowing it. I should know not to marry Him. But I thought I wasn't going to be good enough for anybody to. I thought I was worthless still. I had very low self-esteem. These are all choices that I thought, okay? I let the devil use them. Keep me away from God. Those are choices we make daily. It's not just what you're going to eat or what we're going to drink or what we're going to wear. It's, are we going to think this way? Are we going to live this way? What are we going to do? Is it going to reflect on God in a bad way? I fight with that a lot because I'm not perfect. I still fight with a lot of stuff from my past, but over the years, the really last few years, God's done some changing on me. Through my second husband. Even though I wasn't supposed to marry, God was probably yelling at me up there. I'm almost certain he probably wanted to kick stones at me. But that was a crazy, foolish choice I made. But he took that choice and he moved me and my kid. I would have never moved to Jonesboro, you guys. Jonesboro's too big for me. I was born in the country way back in the boondocks, you guys. I was raised up like that. Jonesboro way too big. It wasn't going to come to Jonesboro. I barely want to drive Jonesboro. Now Memphis is way too big for me, and I'm not going there. Anyway, he used my husband to bring us here. Because my husband did not want him to go to Truman. So we moved here. And guess what? He was going to this church. Well, it was over there at the time. Different name. That's okay. And that is where I used my mistake, my bad choice. Okay. Because he knew there is no way Miss Mary's gonna move all the way to Jonesboro. There is no way she's gonna bring them kids all the way to Jonesboro. Nope, ain't happening. Even though I probably worked halfway in Jonesboro, church there, that waste of gas, devil. Wasting my time, devil. You know, I got more things to do. I could spend time with my kids on a Sunday that I'm not working. That's how it works. And I let him for a very long time. But then I come to church. And deep down, you know how you get that feeling, you know you're not supposed to do anything. You're not supposed to be in that position. You're supposed to be in church. I was supposed to be in that church. I felt that. I was supposed to be in that relationship. So I was talking to Pastor, and I was getting there, and it was just clear to me. One day we got in a big fight, and he hit around on me. And I made the choice then. I sat on the couch, he walked out. I made that choice that day of telling God, God, if you're really there, if you really love me, if you brought me this for a purpose, then you need to start opening doors and moving mountains, because I don't know anybody. I have no money. I have no vehicle. And he kept me captive. My family. I didn't get around them. You guys, God made a choice that day. And to rescue me in a way that saved my soul. And guys, that was the miracle that didn't just save my soul, but it made me realize how much he loved me. He chose for me to walk out the door. I don't know what I was doing. I was just walking. I had this urge to get up and walk out the door, so I grabbed Adrienne. She was real little. I had her on my hip, and I was walking down the door. Where I was going, I don't know. I didn't know anybody. Walked down to the stop sign, and I had this gut feeling. Turned around and walked back. Notice how I said gut feeling? We all say gut feeling, and it's really God. But I didn't know. And I turned around, and about this time, my neighbor across the street, I didn't know her from Adeline, never talked to her, never mentioned her. She didn't know nothing about me. She comes walking out. Now, if this ain't God and this don't touch you guys, I don't know what will. Because this is God making a whole lot of moves in just a few minutes. I had nothing. This woman walked out, put her trash can down early. I knew it was the wrong day. She walks across the road and she catches me. She said, "Are you ready to get out?" I didn't know what to say. I just told her I didn't have the money. She didn't know anything. She didn't know what it was. And hid it. And she said, I don't have money. I didn't ask you that. God told me to ask you if you were ready to get out. And I was like, yes. I'm ready. Just go in there, get stuff, and move out. Come over here. I'll help you. You guys, God made a choice to move on me so that he could fill my heart, my trust. He built all that. The windows. That's more than what anybody in my life, other than my kids and my mom, that's more than what anybody else in my life ever told me. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he's real. Maybe he does love me. So I made the choice to just move on it. What else was I going to do? I had my divorce before the week was up. He moved mountains, you guys. God moved mountains. He opened doors. He moved mountains. And people that didn't even know me. A judge, a lawyer, didn't know me. One woman. Ain't that crazy? One woman. In school when I was little. One woman. One teacher. 4th grade teacher. Got me through. Other than my mom. When I was a teen. One kid. One. Little teenager. She was in church. She had a twin, but I hung out with one. Okay? She pulled me through. God used her to pull me through. I was a grown-up. One, again, one young girl welcomed me to church, welcomed me with open arms, loved me regardless. And then when I went through my divorce, one woman. All it takes is one. But it's a choice you have to do. If each one of those people, even the little girl, any one of those would have been like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get involved with that. Where would I have been? Oh, no. Maybe he would have chose another person. Who knows? But they would have missed out on a blessing. They would have missed out on a miracle. And you know what's really funny? Just the other day, I ran into the girl that helped me and pulled me into church. Helped me invite me to church. I ran into her the other day. She's still going to church, you guys. She said, I ain't leaving church. She said, but I'm in church. And I love her. Why? Because she's real. She's not faking it. I will never fake it. I don't care if someone comes to me and talks to me. Hey, look, I'm still battling. I will be here for you. I will do what God tells me to do. If he tells me to tell you shut up, I'm going to tell you shut up. I don't care. Those will get you drugged down. I learned that because they don't want to give up yet. Pity parties are the worst. They want to dwell in it. That's between them and God. And that's where I chose a lot of people in my path to try to help. And were a lot of pity parties. And they drugged me down. And they made me feel like I was the worst person in the world because I couldn't help them. Guess what? We're not made to really help. We're there to lead, to guide, to love, to care, and to talk to them about God and what the Lord can do for them because he done it for us. Okay? I'm completely off. You guys, I went through, and I wrote this like 5 or 6 times today. But it doesn't necessarily, choices in life and the decisions that we make doesn't necessarily have to be things I went through. It could be something that's losing a loved one. It could be financial, it could be stress, it could be anything that you're dealing with. You can make that choice. Get rid of it. You don't have to worry about it. We already heard that in the beginning, God didn't create us. I'm almost certain I can't see him like seeing us in our, as he's creating us little bitty creatures. So much, almost at the back. So much trouble. that they're not going to want me. We make choices. And we can make a choice throughout our life today about the issues that we deal with, the drama that we go through, the negativity that we're carrying, the jealousy, the hate, the anger, the self-doubt, the low self-esteem. He didn't put us here for us to go through this. It's taken me a lot of years to see that. I don't worry about my bills being paid because, Lord knows, I've only had $188 a week and still made all my bills. So tell me how that happened. God. I don't worry about my kids because I know God's got them. I worry about being a good mama. I get that mixed up. About being there for them. I struggle with that. God knows. Talk to him about it all the time. I chose God to be my best friend. I come to church, when I come into church, I chose to do it because, not because people tell you to, not because you read it in the Bible, which you better read your Bible, because I've been reading mine a whole lot more here lately, and I've been feeling really good. I choose to come to church to honor him for what he has brought me through, because he didn't have to. Number one, he didn't have to create me. Number two, he sure didn't have to save me from any of that. He could have let me just die. Okay? So people got to realize choices in life, no matter how big, how small, how hard, how easy, always a lot easier sharing it with God. Kind of like the wrestling matches way back when. I wasn't going to use this, but okay. Way back when, I don't know if y'all remember, I had the torture watching wrestling. I hate wrestling. But they had paired up. Okay? God, he's in the ring with us, and we're fighting this life, and he's like, hey, you guys, pat me in. I've got you. I've got you. Don't forget about me. I'm here. Today could be your choice. Whether you out the same way you walk, with anger, with jealousy, with frustration, with worry, with doubt, with fear. It doesn't have to be that way. God is with us at all times. He's here. I know I felt him earlier. I felt him all day. That's the reason why I knew I got up here. I wasn't going to read from my thing. Here. I need to read the scriptures because I'm still learning how to memorize them things. But everything I feel is in here, and that's what he's doing. And all he's doing is waiting for you guys to give it up. That's all he tells me. We ain't going to give it up. When are y'all going to give it up? When you're going to get tired of it. You guys, when I forgave, and I'm sorry, you can't. When I forgave my brother, my husband, you guys, that was probably the most hardest thing to ever do. To walk up and ask him, number one, ask him to forgive me in case I've done anything to entice him or cause it. But then I told him I forgave them. You guys, forgiveness is not for them. I don't care what they've done. It is not for them. It is for you. Because the day that I told my ex-husband that I forgave him, oh guys, oh my God. Did I feel like 1,000-pound lighter? Yes. Did I feel more peace? Yes. It worked, knew it. They asked me what was going on. And it was because I forgave him. That is the hardest thing to do, is forgive someone. But it's a choice that you have to make. Now, God's not going to make it. He's not making you do anything. He ain't. He cares too much about you to force you. He wants you to love him enough to give it to him. We make it hard. I've learned that too. Make it a lot harder. I used to tell myself, I can't give it to him. God, how am I going to give that to you? I don't know who I'm going to be. I don't know who I am without it. And back then, yes, I didn't know who I was going to be without it, because I had carried this load for so long. I didn't know what I was going to do without the load until I let it go.
Hi everyone, Cornbread Chris Honick here, of course, representing Resonate Sound and Resonate Church. We want to say a special thank you for worshiping with us right here today. Or no matter where you are, whether you're joining us live and in person at Resonate Church, or whether you're joining us on television via your syndicated stations, or whether you're joining us internationally, courtesy of our YouTube simulcast, or no matter where you are. Thank you so much for your support each and every week. Now, you're saying, Cornbread, Resonate Church, you know, you guys have blessed us so much, but we want to turn around and bless you through the after worship called Giving. How do we do it? Glad you asked. Here are 4 ways in which you can resonate your giving. Check it out. Number 1, you can resonate your giving by joining us live and in person right here at Resonate Church at 418 County Road 4021, just right off Highway 1 and Stadium Boulevard here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Join our worship experiences Sundays 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., Wednesdays at 6:30. Option number 2, online. You see that laptop right there with that orange screen with a time link on it? Well, all you have to do, if you want to resonate your giving online, is just go to that tab link and follow the directions here. Also, make sure you specify where you want your gift going towards. It's safe, secure, easy, simple to do. And that's if you want to resonate your giving online. All you got to do is go to that tab link, follow all the instructions there. You can resonate your giving that way. Option number 3, your cell phone. Look, we all got one. You might as well put it to use, shall we? Well, guess what? If you want to resonate your giving using your cell phone, it's very simple to do. It's a thing called text to give. All you have to do is text the word give to that 501 number that you see right there on your screen. Safe, secure, fast, simple, easy to do. Option number 4, mailing. If you want to mail your contribution to us via check or money order, you can do so with the address on your screen. But let's specify this. If you are sending check or money orders, please make all checks and money orders payable to Resonate Church. Let me repeat that. If you are sending check or money orders to that address on your screen, please make all your checks and your money orders payable to Resonate Church. And those are your 4 options on which you can resonate your giving. And if you want more info, all you have to do is go to our website, resonatechurchar.org, for all the details. Oh, wow. Mary, for your first time, that was awesome. A very different way to look at life. Thank you very much. And on a personal note, Mary, that really spoke to me. And thank you for letting me know that God is my tag team partner. Thanks, Mary. You know what? We're gonna capitalize off everything she said. You know, when you wake up in the morning, do you choose to pray to God, or do you choose to go do your normal routine? Do you choose to be positive today, or do you choose to be negative? Do you choose to worship God every day, or do you choose to only worship Him on Sundays because it's a church holiday or one day of the week? I'll also tie this into Christianity and discipleship for just a moment. Do I choose to be a Christian and only treat God as just Sundays and a midweek service only? Or do I choose to be a disciple and I take church with me everywhere I go? And I realize that I am the church. And it's not just a building, it's inside of me. I am the church. See, that's powerful. A lot of y'all don't look at it that way. But Pastor and myself, we both have said on this program, if Resonate promotes anything, and bottom line, just so you know, we are not a Christian-based program, we are discipleship television. There's a difference in the choices that we make, positive or negative. What if Jesus did not choose? What if Jesus chose not to die on the cross? Ooh, that's powerful. What if Jesus chose not to sacrifice his life and die on the cross for us? What if Job chose to curse God and do what his wife says and curse God and die? See, it's all about choices you make. You know that free will that we talked about on this program many times? That's where that free will comes into play. Do I choose to worship? Do I choose to only be limited to my worship in certain places? That's a Christian's attitude. Or do I choose to magnify God and magnify positivity everywhere I go, to where people see the light without you even saying a word, and they know and they want some of that light that you have? It's all about choices that you make. You hit that one out of the park, Mary. And I'm gonna speak to you personally. I know you just kind of, everyone kind of gets those nervousness and all. And honestly speaking, some people are always worried about their calling and everything. Tonight was the perfect example of that. We're all called to go win souls. We're all called to go change the world and grow the kingdom. We're all called to do it. Tonight was deeper because this was a call of encouragement. Make the right choice. Make the good choices. Choose to magnify God more than magnify your problems. Choose to magnify God everywhere you go and worship Him everywhere you go, rather than to only limit Him to just Sundays and one midweek service. That's the difference. What are you choosing? God, thank you for resonating this out to us. Thank you at home for watching. We got another good one coming for you next week. Don't forget the 4 ways on which you can resonate with giving. Plus, all the pictures, all the news, all the scoops, and all the views. Facebook.com/ResonateAR is the place where you can go for all the news and announcements and all the events and everything up to date. Also, if you're watching this program on our YouTube simulcast, say like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Ding, 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 ding. That way, you won't miss an episode. We got another one coming for you next week as we continue the march to August and our anniversary coming up in just a very few weeks. Until then, for our entire crew, I'm Chris Heineken. We love to see you right back here same time, same place on this same station. And we all say to you, show love, give peace, you know it. Resonate Jesus. See ya next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern for Resonate Sound. Good night, Canada. Good night, everyone.